been a little while since we had a video with friend of the channel and everyone's favourite Challenge Tour player, Liam Robinson, who, by the way, recently made his first ever cut on the European Tour. So well done, Liam. I'll put his Twitter link down below if you want to go and follow him and say congratulations. So I've got two Liam videos this week. There's this one in which Liam and one of his coaches are going to take us through something that you can do in a couple of minutes that's going to add 7 yards to your drives, so you can't really argue with that. And then later in the week I've got a kind of full-on swing clinic kind of thing where Liam basically talks about loads of stuff, including like why he's changed all the clubs in his bag, why he's not too fussed about launch monitors when it comes to picking clubs. What else did he talk about? What he's working on in his swing at the moment, how he practices and why he hates the driving range, and a weird one, why he doesn't set up with the ball in the middle of the club. I think it's a great video and everyone who watches it will get at least something useful out of it. So make sure you're subscribed and you hit the little bell thing. That's just Simba trotting past. Yeah, make sure you subscribe, hit the little bell, and you won't miss it when that video goes live later this week. I'm also going for my first ever iron fitting on Friday, so there will of course be a video coming from that. Anyway, let's crack on with this video.
As you'll all know, I obviously work with Jamie and stuff. And
this is Jamie Greaves. He's a former college golfer and +2 handicapper who is now a strength and conditioning coach who only works with golfers. He works with tour pros, England squads and regular amateurs, and he's one of the leading golf fitness guys in the country.
I do a lot of the stuff that Jamie, we've kind of gone through these sessions when I'm wherever, and I've got to be honest, like doing this, I used to have really, really bad back problems. Like for 2 years, I probably withdrew from 4 or 5 events a year with back issues. Since I've been seeing Jamie, touch wood, it's been 2.5 years now I've not withdrew from an event with a body problem. So a lot of the stuff that we do is mobility work and whatever else, and we kind of introduced this little session where it started this year. Yeah, because I've been struggling with my shoulder a little bit through the winter. Like a lot of you will see, you know, a lot of the work that I've been doing with Gary Barter is I've been doing a lot of kind of one arm stuff, and obviously when I hadn't ever been doing that before, and then I started doing it a lot, I started creating a few problems in my left shoulder. So we kind of have just started a little bit of a warm-up and stuff, so I'm just going to go through this today because I do it before every round. It literally takes kind of a couple of minutes, but just let Jamie explain why I do it, and hopefully that will maybe give you, I know probably none of you will do it, but I would highly recommend that you, it's literally a couple of minutes in the pro shop or the changing rooms before you go out, and I found it to be really useful for me. So yeah, so I'll just quickly go through it with him.
I'll talk him through it. So yeah, so as Liam's kind of talking, most golfers don't warm up at all, and they kind of done a study on this a couple of years ago, and they've shown that if you do a resistance based warm up, so ideally that would be kind of a gym based stuff, but obviously most golf clubs we're going to be looking more at kind of resistance bands like that, we can add about 6 or 7 yards on someone's drive as opposed to not warming up at all. Literally by 5-10 minutes of this stuff. So when we're doing the warm-up, what we're looking for here is we're looking to essentially get the body moving. So the main kind of mobility parts for golf are going to be hips, spine and shoulders, and then we're going to look to get a little bit of strength in there, and then finish off with a bit of kind of power-based stuff just to really fire the nervous system up before you go out, which is kind of different from what a lot of people think warming up is. So a lot of people perceive warming up as we're going to do some stretches before we go out. That doesn't really prepare our body for golf, which although the walking part is quite easy, the actual swing is quite an explosive action. So Liam here is moving the club from 0 to 128 mile an hour in 0.5 of a second. So he needs to prepare his body to take that, because 80% of golf injuries are overuse. So we need to really make sure our body is prepared as best we can so that we can reduce that. So the one we've got for Liam here is we're just going to do some band pull aparts to start with. So arms going to be out, we're going to pull the band apart as wide as we can, so a little bit higher.
It's a bit heavier than my one.
So pretty much wrists at shoulder height, arms are going to be straight, we're going to pull it apart and we're going to squeeze in here. So we can do some normal ones like that, a little bit slower probably, that's it. And then we can also tilt them so that we can do some diagonal ones just to emphasize some slightly different angles. So as we do these, there's kind of no right or wrong angle. There's benefit to doing lots of different angles. So if we go left on top as well. What we're doing here, we're kind of just firing up the shoulders a little bit before we go out. The next one we'd go into, we'd pull the band apart and we try and bring it up and kind of over. So this one here is obviously a little bit more mobility for the shoulder. We're still pulling it apart, so we're still kind of using that musculature inside the shoulder. As we're doing this, the main thing you kind of want to watch is Liam's chest stays facing forward. He doesn't kind of really lift it up. So that means we're basically getting it from the shoulder and it's not just the extension through the spine. And like we're doing here, we only have to do kind of 5-10 reps of this. The warm-up shouldn't take you longer than 5-10 minutes, okay? You don't need to be doing loads of it. We'd do a couple of lower body movements. We'd probably finish with a couple of more power based, like some jumps, just to fire the nervous system up, and then that would be that. You'd get into your playing. But for 5-10 minutes of your time, for the kind of 7 yards performance, you're also going to feel better on the first few holes. So most golfers, they don't start very good and they don't finish very good, and it's really probably because they're not very prepared. So if you do this before, at least those first few holes are going to be a bit better and you won't take 4 or 5 holes to get into your round. There you go.
So there you go. I mean, as Liam said, I know that most people probably never do that, but if there was a golf ball that went 7 yards further than the one that you're using at the moment, you'd probably start using it straight away. So it's worth thinking about, particularly as a resistance band only costs like about a tenner. So let me know if you're going to try it, and also let me know down below what is your current sort of pre-round warm-up. So I used to try and get to the course about an hour before I was going to tee off and give myself 45 minutes to warm up. So I'd spend 15 minutes putting, 15 minutes hitting chips and pitches, and then about 15 minutes hitting balls on the range. But to be honest, I've moved clubs this year and my new club is further away. So I just don't really have the time to do that because I don't want to leave Simba at home for too long. So I tend to just hit balls in the net for 5 minutes, hit a few putts, a few chips, and then tee off, which obviously probably isn't ideal, but yeah, you've got to do what you've got to do, I suppose. So yeah, let me know kind of how long you spend warming up and how you spend that time. Anyway, thanks as always for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and I'll see you in the future.